This is Loropetalum chinense, fringe flower. It's a native to China, and it's a green version of what has become one of the most popular evergreen shrubs we see used in this area, which is Loropetalum plum delight and some of the pink and red French flowers. So this is the originator, I believe, in terms of the shrub, and this is a nice shot of a grouping in San Francisco in Golden Gate Park. And I like the way they've used it here. They used it in mass as a foreground planting, although this will take some maintenance for where they've put it. These plants do get up to 6 to 10 feet high and wide, and if you're going to plant them as they have here, where I'd say they're about 4 feet on center, then that's fine, but they will want to climb, and anything behind them is going to get buried. Here's a nice look at the leaf and the branch, and what happens with these, and by the way, there's the fringe flower that you see here. There's 4 petals. They're in heavy groups typically in early spring in our area, and lots of them, and they have this very interesting little confetti-like flower to them. So as I was saying, what happens is the branches come out kind of like fans. They're a bit flat, and then as they get larger and more mature, they kind of droop over and give it a very elegant kind of look. I had this plant in one of my homes for about 3 years, and I was able to keep it down around 2 to 3 feet high without any real problem, but that took yearly pruning, just once a year. And I would say with the Loropetalums in general, that's how I've been treating them. So if you do want to keep it small, what I would say is that make that clear to whoever's maintaining it that that's the intent. And then I would say really 2.5 to 3 is kind of the minimum. They're going to look better and be easier to handle if you let them get 4 to 5 feet. I've never seen a 6 foot plus version of this plant, so I can't really speak to that. In terms of the look and in design, they're really great in woodland conditions. You can see here they've got some contrasting foliages in the background there. These are a limier green, more of a yellow green, so it's lighter. And if you want to contrast against darker foliages, that's a nice look. And then in terms of what they like, they really are kind of an understory or partially shade-loving plant. Now that said, I've grown Loropetalums for years in full sun, and I'm in a hot inland valley that we get 90 plus degrees Fahrenheit during the summer, so they can take heat. I'd say the low end of their temperature range is in the low 20s Fahrenheit from my experience. I think if you get much lower than that, it says that they can be damaged by frost. So some nice companion plants are to follow. I'd also say that soil-wise tend to like it more, a little bit more on the acid side. And also they are deer tolerant to some degree. The Loropetalum family is deer tolerant, but I'd give it about a 7 or 8 out of 10. I have seen this eaten, but mostly I see it left alone. So you know, it's fairly reliable that way. This needs regular water to be happy. This is not a drought tolerant plant in my opinion or my experience. So now that said, if you're near the coast, this is in San Francisco, if you're in coastal California or something like that, the cooler air temp during the days is going to lower your water demand. But I would just tell you, my experience is these look way better when they're getting some regular water. I have one near a lawn, and it is the happiest one in my yard, so certainly they do enjoy the water. And I think that's what I can tell you about Loropetalum chinense, fringe flower. It's a beautiful evergreen shrub, very elegant form when it matures, and nice color when you want some lighter green. And if you've got a shadier area, that's where that can play very nicely. To follow are a few companion plants. Enjoy.